model of second language acquisition, we decided to play upon one of our school district's defining qualities. McDonald County is famous for its recreational activities on the beautiful Elk River. Every summer, the population of our area completely changes as outdoorsmen arrive to hike our trails and float our gorgeous rivers.
Our metaphor for learning a second language is that learning or acquiring a second language is like a float trip down the river. We are going to canoe down the Elk to show how a float trip resembles language learning.
Katie, I just don't know about this. I'm really hesitant about it because, one, I've never been canoeing before, and secondly, the river's really busy and people are going to look at me and think I have no idea what I'm doing.
It's okay. We're going to learn together, work together. I've done this before, so it's going to be okay. I'll teach you what to do.
Okay.
The first step when taking a trip down the river is to prepare for the trip. A canoer needs materials such as a life jacket, or sunscreen, or sunglasses, even a cooler. This attends to their physical and safety needs and helps prevent canoers from feeling anxious. Similarly, learners need to meet their physical needs, and teachers must consider Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Students need their physical and safety needs met.
The effective filter hypothesis, part of Krashen's theory of second language acquisition, specifies that teachers need to take measures to lower the effective filter. We want our students to feel secure and comfortable in their learning environment. Even more, we can use the participatory language approach to give them some control over their learning.
Now that we are prepared for our trip, it is time to get our canoe out on the river. Like language acquisition, some parts of learning to canoe come innately.
Krashen's natural order describes that students acquire language in a social and communicative language environment, where students primarily use the target language. For example, a canoer naturally knows to flow with the river current.
In the comprehension stage, the student goes through a silent period while receiving comprehensible input, such as direct vocabulary instruction. This is like when the canoer listens to the instructor or experienced canoer to explain the approach to canoeing. Okay, Sarah, we've got our canoe on the river. Everything's going okay. We're going to go into deeper water now. I'm going to paddle on this side. You paddle on your side. We're going to paddle at the same time together, okay? It's going to be fun.
Okay.
Okay.
Next is the early speech production stage. In this stage, the student begins to apply comprehensible input from stage 1 and begins to supply more lengthy responses. This is like when a canoer takes their first paddles with success in calm waters. Last in this theory is the speech emergence stage. Here is when a student continues to improve the length and quality of speech. Even more, a student now has the tools they need to take on more rigorous tasks. The teacher should not overcorrect mistakes to avoid disrupting learning. This is like when the canoer is prepared to go on their first real trip with obstacles and distance. It is on this trip where the guide or experienced canoer has to let the novice learn from their own choices and how to best use the paddle to guide the boat to avoid debris.
When learning to canoe, sometimes mistakes are made and the canoe tips, but the canoer must climb back aboard and try to learn from the mistakes made. This is like when language learners experience interference or language loss. Learners must learn from their mistakes and keep moving forward in their language learning.
You know what, Katie? You were right. This really was fun, and I feel confident going forward because you helped me along. Learners also have different needs, which require different approaches to learning. Just like the different bodies of water take different approaches to navigate, students need a variety of different instructional strategies and approaches, just like some water bodies take much more paddling and a lot of teamwork, while other bodies of water seem easily navigated.
Teachers need to be conscious of the fact that age, personality, and social factors all affect language learning. Just like learning to canoe, language learning may come faster for others depending on certain conditions. However, teachers must not assume that young students will automatically learn language easier than older students, just like it cannot be assumed that someone from McDonald County will be easier to teach to canoe just because they live close to the river. Sarah, you've done such a good job today. I'm so proud of you. You learned to paddle, you learned how to steer the canoe, you even learned what to do when it tips over. You've done such a great job.
Thank you. Thank you for being patient with me, Katie. The type of praise we give our English learners matters in language learning. It is important to remember to give purposeful praise that praises the action rather than the person, being certain to encourage the growth mindset. Second language acquisition is like a float trip on the river.
It is a journey that comes with twists and turns.
It involves a lot of work and is easier with the help of someone who is experienced.
While it may not always go as planned, it is a fun adventure that can take you places you never expected.